Hello happy people, I hope this video finds you well in these very odd times that we are currently living in. With this video that I've made today, it gives you a realistic look into what I would pack to go to work in terms of my food. Now at the moment I'm currently not actually going to work, but I did film this footage a little while ago and I thought, you know what, I'm going to upload it anyway because it might give you some inspiration if you are looking at incorporating some more plant-based meals or foods into your diet. Whether you're working from home or whether when you go back to work, if you just want some ideas, I thought it would be nice to share anyway. Now taking into account I am a shift worker, so normally my shifts will cross over a 2 main meal period. In this video clip today, I've prepped food for a breakfast lunch crossover. I've also included some snacks in there as well and a little recipe video of how I make some really yummy little bliss balls. So if you want to find out what I eat on a day-to-day basis at work, then please keep watching. Grab whatever container you want to use for this recipe. I like to use these glass mason jars that have a plastic screw-on lid. Then you want to go in and add half a cup of oats. I like to use this one that is a 5-grain mix. Then half a cup of frozen berries. This one's just from my local Woolworths. The next thing I grab is half a banana. I'm just going to chop that up and add it into the mixture in the mason jar. To add a bit of extra flavouring to the mixture, I like to pop in a bit of this ground cinnamon. You could add whatever you wanted for extra flavouring, nutmeg if you like it, but I just like having cinnamon. Then I go ahead and I grab a little handful of cacao nibs, which are kind of like little dark chocolate pieces in a way. And then I go ahead and I do the same thing with these little buckinis. And buckinis are actually the seeds of the buckwheat plant, which is kind of similar to rhubarb plants. Next thing I want to add is a little bit of organic stevia. I reckon I'd probably add just under a teaspoon. This helps to just make it a bit sweeter, and I feel like it brings the flavour of the berries and the banana out a bit more, but you could add maple syrup, whatever you wanted. Next thing you want to do is cover your mixture with a bit of water or plant-based milk, whatever you like, and then give it a really good stir in your mason jar. Put the lid back on and it is all good to go and ready for your work lunch. My next go-to lunch idea is falafels and salad with a creamy salsa hummus sauce. My pretty much everyday salad has stuff like purple cabbage, tomato, capsicum, carrot, cucumber and lettuce mix, but you can add whatever you want in there. You also want to grab yourself your plastic container that you're going to take your salad to work in, taking into account it is going to have a dressing in it, so you just want to make sure that it is a clip lock container. Next up, I'm just going through chopping up all of my vegetables. I'm sure you know how to do that, so we'll just fast forward through this clip. As a little added extra, I like to add nutritional yeast on top of my salad. Nutritional yeast is hard to describe if you've never tried it. It has a slightly cheesy flavour, but it's really great because it is high in protein, high in B vitamins, and also has some trace minerals in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and shake that on top of my salad. This is where I'm going to show you how I make my sauce or dressing that I like to put on my salad, especially when I have it with falafels, because it is a nice creamy dressing. So you can see I'm just grabbing a big dollop of hummus. I like to add it into a little bowl. I'm using a teacup here because it was what I had on hand. You also want to add in some salsa. This is just an organic one that I bought from Costco. The third ingredient that I like to add to the mixture is hot sauce. Chipotle hot sauce goes really well in this mixture. Also adding hot sauce and the salsa, it just helps to make the dressing a little bit more runny, because if you just use hummus it's too thick and it won't spread over all of your salad mixture. So anyway, just stir it up until all the ingredients are combined. Now go ahead and mix that really well through your salad mixture. Next up for falafels, I'm going to give you 2 options. One is a pre-made falafel and then the other one is a falafel mix that you can make yourself. I really like the pre-made ones because they are quicker and easier. They're also really good if you pop them in a sandwich press. They go really crispy and nice. So I just pop a couple in a container so that I can reheat them when I get to work and have them with my salad. And just a side note to that, both the pre-made falafels and the mixture are both from my local Woolworths. And there you go, it's all ready to go. Next is a recipe for these espresso-nut bliss balls that I like to make. You want to start off by getting a cup of roasted nuts. I'm using pecans, but to be honest, peanuts kind of work better. Then you want to add half a cup of almond meal, blitz it up until it becomes a fine crumb like this. Then in a separate bowl you want to get 15 dates, and just over the top of them pour a little bit of boiling water so they're just not quite covered, and then you want to let them soak for probably about 2 minutes. Once the dates have become soft, you want to go ahead and add them into your little food processor, and as well as that you want to add probably about half of the liquid that's left over in the bowl. That just helps the mixture to blend together really well. Once it's all blended up, it should be sort of a sticky, tacky, chunky mixture like this. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. You can use whatever nut butter that you like to use, and then I just stir it through a little bit. And I'm also going to add in about a teaspoon of maple essence. You can use vanilla essence as well if you want. It just helps to give it a nice flavour. Once it's all blended together, it should be a lot more pliable and easy to mold into little balls. But before we do that, we're going to add in probably about half a teaspoon of ground coffee beans. I love this because it gives them a really nice espresso taste, but if you're not a fan of coffee, obviously you don't have to add them. It's still really good without the coffee flavouring. And now you can go ahead and form the rest of the mixture into your little treat balls. I got about 8 balls out of this recipe. Sometimes I don't like to have to buy coffee every day at work, so here I'm just adding 1 scoop into my mini plunger, and I'm also going to get a little jar and add some of my favourite oat milk into it to add into my coffee later. Now that I've prepped all my food, I'm going to go ahead and add it into my little cooler lunchbox. As well as the food and the coffee that I've prepped, I'm also just going to add myself in an apple just as an extra snack to take to work. Now that all my food is ready, it is time for me to get ready. Makeup, hair and uniform all done, and I'm good to go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And while you're here, why not give this video a like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with my videos.